Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I watched parts of the CNN organized town hall event featuring former President Donald Trump, and it didn't disappoint. Not in what he said or she said, because this video is not going to be about if he was right or whatever she was right. It's going to be about how it was conducted, a town hall. And that is from a perspective of professionalism, civilized behavior, or civil behavior. You don't have to be minimum of requirement. And I thought it was that's horrible. It was horrible. And the person who hosted that is a 31-year-old graduate of the School of Journalism, not School of Journalism, but she has a bachelor's in journalism. I think she graduated in 2014. And in 2014, and I have here her bio, actually. She graduated in May 2014, bachelor's degree. So 14 in 9 years. In 9 years, she got to speak with former President Donald Trump, 1,000 years old, accomplished man in his life. I guess he is an accomplished man. He is more than we are, I guess, financially and as a personality. And she got to speak with this person. The lack of, first, I think she, her name is Collins, Caitlin Collins. The lack of decency, no, maybe not decency. She just made a fool of herself. She showed lack of respect for herself in the first place and for him. She let her emotions go over her and behave like a teenage girl or teenage boy. Doesn't really matter. A teenage child. Obviously, if you're a teenager, you're a child, right? Nevertheless, I will just make a few points on her behavior, which I think it was horrible. Not that, she asked tough questions. I want people to ask other people or candidates tough questions so we find out where those people stand. But there's ways to ask questions. Like if you're in a bar, it's a certain kind of questions, the same line of questioning. If you are in the brothel, it's a different one. Now, if you are in front of a senatorial session or something, it's a different kind. If you're conducting an interview with let's say a certain kind of magazine, it's a certain one versus another one. So it's you know what I mean? And if you say no, that means you're that kind of person all the time. She behaved as a toddler, as a teenage. Not even teenage, a 7-year-old, 10-year-old, 15 maximum years old, interrupting all the time, getting in arguments with him on the policy. Hey, baby doll, you're over there to ask questions, and the public decides. No, she was debating him. There was not a debate. You ask questions and hard questions and see how he answers. I'm not saying she should not have pressed, but pushed the guy. But that's a different story. Pushing and being obnoxious. That's what she was. Interrupting, no, yes, And I think, my direct experience, she doesn't know much. She doesn't know much. I know how intelligent she is, but I definitely know that she hasn't been around the block a few times yet. But the problem is she works for CNN. She gets this opportunity at 31 years old. Just think of your life where you were at 31 years old. Were you at CNN in front of a former president? Is so, all his problems, everything, and you interview him, or at least, you are the host of the town hall, and you act like that? That person should not have been featured in front of a TV at CNN. It could be some local, and then you grow. At 31. Let me go over this, over her bio a little bit. It's very interesting. Here, Caitlin Collins. So she is right here. and she is 31 years of age. I think it's way, way, way too early to be a White House correspondent in a briefing room in front of the president and ask questions that's not her first day being 31. Probably she was at 30 or maybe 29. And she graduated in 2014, my friends. So she moved awfully fast. Now it doesn't matter who her father was and all that, blah, 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 blah. But she graduated, she earned a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science of Journalism in May of 2014. So in, 7 years, let's put it 7 years, she got into what? To Washington, D.C.? Anyway, so in June 2014, she was hired by website Daily Caller. Okay, and I'm not familiar with these guys much, but anyway, right after she graduated, she got a job in Washington, D.C. Right after that, after covering the 2016 presidential election, and Daily Caller named the White House correspondent, the Daily Caller named her its White House correspondent in 2017. So at 2017, so she was born where? 1992. 2002, 2022, so what, at 25, isn't it? 92, 2002, 2020, 2012, right? And she was in 2012, yes, at 25 years old. How is this possible? Unless she's a genius. 25 years old, she was at the White House covering the Trump's administration's whatever. She was the White House correspondent for a Daily Caller. Have you seen how many media outlets are in that room? I don't know, 20? 30? So she was one of those at 25, my friends. Now, I don't want to insult anybody, but think about you at 25. How much did you know about life in general? How much possibly can you know? You just graduated 2 years ago, 3 years ago. In 2014, you graduate, and in 3 years, you are at the White House. Wow. Doesn't that make you feel a little bit, a loser? And then you ask why. And how much could she possibly read to know? How much could she possibly experience to be over there? Were there some doors open for her? I don't know. But I don't think she's a genius. I heard her talk. She's not a genius. I gotta tell you that. So let's see what happened then. While she was still at Daily Caller, Collins was invited to make several appearances on CNN at 25, 24, 25, 26. That's when she was, right? In 2014, 2015. At a White House correspondent event in spring 2017, she met network president Zucker, this guy. Yeah, so she met this guy in 2017 at 25 and thanked him for having her. In July, she was hired by CNN. So she met this guy in the spring, which is basically March, April, and then she was hired, my friends, in July, right after 2 months. 2 months, let's say 2 months at the most, 3 months, 4 months, she was hired at 25 years old to work for CNN as part of the team covering presidential news. Now, I don't know about you, my friends, but this is the meritocracy. I don't have any evidence, but life and experience. She's either a fantastic individual, and I saw fantastic individuals who did not make it in the world, and they're fantastic. They did not make it. They're regular, whatever they are. But I see this woman shooting up right there, 2014. She moves to Washington, D.C., gets a job over there, and in 2 years, she's the correspondent in the White House. And then meets Zucker. I don't know what happened over there. And then in 3 months after she meets Zucker, at the most, she gets hired by CNN. How is that possible? What did she do to impress Zucker? I mean, I don't think it's hard to impress Zucker, but anyway, that's my assessment of that guy. But these are the guys in charge of us. And then she speaks with Trump. And she speaks to Trump as she puts Trump as a citizen. Don't get him anything like he's a good guy, bad guy, but you respect yourself, the way you address another person, the way you communicate, the way you try to debate. Basically, this is what she tried. The way she acted She showed, she did not respect herself. Let's put it this way. And if you don't respect yourself, you can't respect others. I mean, she was awful for herself. I mean, just ignore him. Just look at her. Okay, he's a bad guy. He's whatever you want him to be. I don't care. I'm talking about her. And this is the level of our media. And she's on CNN, town hall. Townhouse. Yeah. No, my friends, this is like put a teenager talking with a real person. Believe me, I mean, however you want to turn it, Trump was around the block a few times in his life, and she is just, I don't know, people like her. And she's going to have a bright future or something. I think she was given a spot somewhere, blah, blah, blah. And in the meantime, CNN, according to another, another article here, because I have now the frustration. It says here, more than 3 million people watch Wednesday night town hall. Early data from Nielsen Media Research showed, representing a more than 300% increase from the typical weeknight at 8 p.m. for a network consistently running behind Fox News. And so with Trump, they had 300% more. It's a dying company. Trump said, after I'm done, if I'm not the president anymore, CNN will file for bankruptcy. Why do you think Zuckers and all these guys, and they changed, and Cuomo out, the other one, Don Lemon out, the other one like, what's his name? Jesus Christ, the other guy, the other Zucker, the other minion, Stelter out, all these weasels out all of a sudden. Why? They lost viewership because of all that. And they said, we got to change everything, otherwise we go bankrupt. Nevertheless, this one is another one. And assess for yourself. Watch those videos if you want, with her speaking to Trump and how she interrupts and says, yes, you can talk, no, yes, well, like children, you argue like in a schoolyard in, I don't know, when you were 12 or something like this. No, yeah, so you have the last word, you're a 31, know nothing. And he's a 70-some, know a lot. Anyway, bad or good, but respect yourself in the first place. And I don't think she did that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.